Hello, my name is Rocco Beatrice. I'm the Managing Director for Estate Street Partners. A lot of times I get asked to differentiate between what is a revocable trust versus what is an irrevocable trust. It's quite a different concept. First, before we go and try to describe what the differences are, you need to understand what a trust is. A trust is really nothing more than a contract. The guy that has the money repositions the assets in the trust for the benefit of whoever, which could include himself, his wife, the children, anybody he wishes. When we talk about revocable, it means that the person that had the money, when he puts the money in the trust, he retains powers, strings attached. Those strings usually are, he can name himself as a trustee. He can name one of his children as trustees. He can name his wife. He can buy back the assets. He can buy, he can sell. The strings attached usually are to revoke whatever he did before. It's more or less like a Halloween type mask where, you put on a mask and say, okay, I'm somebody else today. Now, when it comes to irrevocable, it means that you have to divorce yourself from your money. When you reposition the assets to the trust, you don't have any more powers over it. The trustee has a fiduciary duty. Usually you want a trustee who is independent of you, cannot be anybody related to you by blood or marriage. Why do you want that? Well, because you want to establish a fiduciary relationship. That's a legal requirement of the fiduciary laws that the trustee has to do everything possible to safeguard the assets. When you have an irrevocable trust, like for example our ultra trust, essentially what you're saying is that you do no longer own the money. You have a third party, the trust, owning the money. And you have an independent fiduciary. Now, what we do with our trust, because our clients have expressed their concerns about the ultimate power of the trustee, we have added the trust protector. His function is to oversee the action of the trustee, thus eliminating a lot of the fears that our clients have. So revocable then, it's like looking yourself in the mirror and saying, that's not me. Irrevocable, you step away from the assets. The control, the power is given over the trustee who has a fiduciary relationship to make sure that the trust assets are totally protected. Judges don't like a breach of fiduciary duty, and that's why you have to do it that way. So in order for a third party to own the assets, the trust becomes the third party, and it's the only way that you can actually protect your assets. Now, protection of assets is only one side. You'll also have elimination of probate and elimination of estate taxes. Probate and estate taxes have to do with what assets are in your personal name, in your individual name, on the date that you die. So if you die with shares in General Motors, shares in whatever, or real estate, or checks, CDs, whatever it is that you have, that's part of your probate. This also becomes part of your estate. Now, of course, you have exemptions against the estate taxes, but anything that you own on the date of death and is probatable, you own, you have to pay taxes on. And that's the differences between revocable and irrevocable. Thank you. If you have any other questions, please call me.